What you're saying makes me think of, and I see this with, in my family or in the human family, is it's hard. It can be hard. I don't want to cast a spell, but it can be traumatizing for people to recognize their own complicity in evil, in the evil that's playing out, and sometimes just being silent, or just, I have my job as a secretary in this, multi-level corporation. Well, yet you're a cog in the wheel that's perpetrating genocide, potentially, And to look at that is like, it's trauma-inducing. And so that's why people don't look at it, because it's easier not to look at. And, so that's, and the other thing that what you were saying made me think of is the way. So in the book, I'm really flooding light on Wetiko and all the way it operates as often as as many ways as I can imagine to articulate that, and I'm pointing out that to the extent that we connect with compassion, with real compassion, not idiot compassion, not smiley face compassion, because sometimes compassion can be really fierce. And to the extent that we really connect with real, authentic, with great compassion, and that compassion isn't just for other beings, but that includes ourselves. So when you were saying, you're like being able to like embrace the toxic parts of you or that are in you, and that really is a dissolve. That dissolves Wetiko. That's the Wetiko dissolver par excellence. And if I could just say one thing, because there's all these ways that I'm, pointing out Wetiko, and I'd like to just describe another one that just I remembered, and that is the thing about Wetiko. It's an archetypal energy, so you can think of it as a higher dimensional energy that's formless. It doesn't have a particular form. It doesn't look. If it had a particular form, we could just say, let me draw you the form. That's what it looks like. That's what you should look for. It's not like that. It's a shape-shifting bug. And what it does, it shapeshifts and assumes your form and my form. And then if we're not awake in that moment, we will just identify with, I can talk for me, with the Paul who is presenting myself as being who I am. Or I can have a particular belief, this limiting belief. That's not possible to do. Or I can have a thought form. I want to eat that thing, or I want to do this, or whatever the phenomena is. But if we, at that moment, aren't awake, we then identify with that thought form, with that belief, with that identity. And then, all of a sudden, we've identified with who we're not. And we've given away who we are, simultaneous. And then we've become an instrument for Wetiko then to act itself out in the world, and we become a secret agent, our secret being secret even to ourselves. And that's really, and they talk about this in the Bible. They talk about the counterfeiting spirit that just, it apes you, it mimes you, it impersonates you. And when you then identify with it, you become a master copy. You become a duplicate of yourself. And and ultimately you lose your soul. That's what happens, and that's where people become not connected with their heart, and they aren't human in a certain way anymore, and that they lose touch with empathy.